Today, I'm really excited to share with you guys. I have two guests. I have a mom and a daughter. And so I'll introduce you guys. And I'm really excited because one of them is actually one of my students. And we get to really pick her brain and get a glimpse of her journey, you know, her transformation. And we get to also ask her questions and really see how honestly, I just want to give our listeners, you guys, hope, inspiration of what kids can really learn. It's basically everything that we wish as adults that we had. But now you get to see what does it look like when we truly do give this to the younger generation, the tools, the strategies, the techniques, the knowledge, the bravery, the courage to freely be yourself.
Mhm.
So yeah. So let's welcome to the show. We have Camila and Kristi. Woo! Okay. So
Yes.
maybe let's start with Camila. Can you share with us maybe like how old are you? Yeah. And where are you?
Okay. My name is Camila. I am 10 years old and I am in California.
Just like me. If you guys didn't know, I'm also in San Diego. And basically, share with us um, what's something you like to do for fun?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that what we like to do for fun is probably do little small activities like go probably shopping to Target or getting fun yarn to see what we can make out of it.
I love that. Did you know that a lot of my other Rebel Ninja students who don't live in the US, they live in other countries, they think Target is really cool. Did you know this?
No.
Yeah. And so, like, because they see Target only on YouTube. So to them, it's like YouTubers go to Target. In our reality is like, well, I think everyone goes to Target, right? And so like one time I was traveling, I was somewhere in Europe and I was staying at a hostel. And so it's like there's a lot of travelers at a hostel. And this one girl saw like my bag, the bag I was using to hold like my dirty clothes, and it was a Target bag. She's like, "Oh my gosh, is that a Target bag?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh my gosh, like that's so cool." I'm like, "Do you want it?" She's like, "Really?" "Yes." I'm like, "Okay, you just got to trade with me though. Just give me one of your bags and you can have this bag." She's like, "Oh my gosh." And like when she had it in her hand, she was so excited. She's like, "I have a Target bag." I'm like, "What just happened?" If I knew someone would be this excited, I would have brought more. So,
Little joys.
anyways, so
Mhm.
fun fact about Target. And if you had, here's a fun question just so we can get to know you a little bit more. If you had to pick a superpower, which one would you rather have?
Hmm. Maybe transportation.
Transportation?
Mhm.
What do you mean?
Like, if I could say, I want to go to Disneyland right now, and I could transport there, I'd be all happy.
When you said transportation, I was like, what does she want? Like unlimited bus tickets? You want to just like anywhere you want to go, like poof, you're there.
Yeah,
That'd be cool. So Disneyland, where else would you just like poof to?
Hawaii.
Ooh, Hawaii. Why there?
Because it's just a very relaxing, calm place that my
Hmm.
family always goes to.
If you were in Hawaii right now, what would you do?
Go to the beach or get a kawaii juice.
Kauai juice. What is that?
It's a company that she always gets hot sauce from.
They have kombucha and like really fun treats and acai bowls or whatever. Yeah, acai bowls or something. Just it's a really fun vendor
Okay,
that we
got
really
it.
like going there. Yeah.
Amazing. And have you guys been to Foodland? Yeah. That is probably one of my favorite places. Oh, yes, yes. The mountains of poke.
And
Anyways,
anything ube for sure.
I
So
love it. I love it. Ube ice cream, ube anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's,
ube rolls is what we love. We always have them. Yeah.
ooh, Oh my goodness. Not only does it look pretty, but it's also delicious. And just a purple dessert. Anyways, for those who are listening, like, what's ube? It's a purple, like
Yeah.
sweet potato, I think. Like a potato, a yam. And I believe it comes from the Philippines, if I understand correctly.
I think so.
Yeah. And it's naturally sweet. Like if you just heat it up, steam it, boil it, and you just like kind of stick a fork in it and just kind of start eating it, you're like, why is this naturally sweet already? It's pretty good.
It's pretty delicious. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, is there, what would you feel like, what's something that you're really good at that most people don't know about?
Maybe I feel like I could be really good at fast roller skating.
Is that the one with like a 2x2 blade or like a single 4 blades in a row?
The 2x2, the old school roller skates. So the 4 he's talking about is the rollerblades.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So roller skating. Wow. So you can go quick, like fast on those things. How fast?
I don't know, 2 miles per hour.
Miles per hour.
If I can really compete myself, then I could do 2 miles per hour.
Okay. Just so I have an idea. Like if you were racing somebody on like, and they were just on their feet, do you feel like you're faster than a baby, a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old? Where do you feel like, okay, I wouldn't be faster than that age of a person?
7?
Wow, that sounds fast. So up until everyone who is 6 and below, you'd be able to go faster than them.
Probably.
That is pretty awesome. How long you been doing that?
I started at like 8.
Around 8 years
We
old?
started younger, I think. 5 or 6. Yeah. You're in your 3rd set of roller skates. I don't know.
I don't remember.
For a minute.
Okay. Got it. What's your favorite thing about roller skating?
That you could just feel the breeze, and when you go, we do what's called walk and rolls. So she would walk and I would roll on my roller skates like at 5 at night.
At night, we do evening walks, right? So we walk in our neighborhood and her roller skates light up and stuff. So we call it a walk and roll.
Whoa, that's cool.
And
I
we
love
explore the
that.
neighborhood and the park.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a little
Wow.
2-mile loop that we do in the neighborhood. So
I think this is such a wonderful way to get like your daily exercise in such a fun way.
Yeah.
Light up roller skates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What color does it light up to?
Mine rolls up to a red.
Oh, so it's like Christmas colors.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's pink and black on the outside. And hearts. And a big pom-pom.
Wow.
The fancy skates.
Nice. So cool. It's like I'm getting like rocker vibes and festive vibes at the same time.
Mhm.
I love it. Well, thank you for coming on to the podcast and taking your precious time out of your spring break. Right?
Yeah.
Is that you're heading to Disneyland pretty soon, right?
Mhm.
Is it this weekend or?
This weekend.
Yeah, we're driving down Sunday and hitting the parks Monday.
Nice. Is there anything you're looking forward to the most at Disneyland?
Me and my cousins go on Little Mermaid.
Right, the Little Mermaid.
Yeah. We're also trying Space Mountain this time.
Oh dear.
I know.
Are you tall enough for that ride?
Yeah.
Just recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a big drop from what I remember.
I didn't tell her that. I just told her it's a lot of fun.
So from what I remember, it's like Space Mountain, you said, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
I know the old ride Splash Mountain. I don't think that's there anymore. That one had a drop. Space Mountain has like that warp speed part where it's like room. It's like
Yeah.
I forget what it's called when you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently
It like
it's really
looks
fast.
yeah, and it looks like you're in the movie doing that, and you can. What are you most excited about with the Space Mountain?
Just being brave, trying something new.
I love that. Why? By the way, so why is being brave so important to you?
I think so that we can conquer our fears.
Have you always been into conquering your fears?
No.
Well, I mean, at least you're honest about it.
Yeah.
Well, why are you into it now?
Because I think that might as well try it out, see if it's fun, or if it's okay, or if I can go on it again, or if it's just something I can check off my to-do list.
I love that.
Yeah.
This to-do list, is it kind of similar to like a bucket list? I like it. Okay. Cool. So let's go into, I wanted to take a little bit of time to go into like, before you got started with all these different challenges and different games that we played in your Rebel Ninja training, I just want to kind of like pick your brain, before, and maybe mom can chime in. Can you remember a time when you were like feeling really nervous or unsure of yourself?
I think when taking tests at
Mm,
school, I might have thought that I didn't have enough progress to think that I could do one test that I can take one time. I felt nervous. But then when I started, I just felt like I'm trying my best, and that's what I can do.
right. So now like what you think about is trying your best.
Mhm.
But like, I guess before, weren't you also focusing on trying to do that too? Like just try to do your best?
Yeah.
She
Okay.
would try it, but the thing is, when she would try it, and she wasn't as good as maybe if you try something for the first time, you're not going to be the best at it. She
Ah,
has a high expectation for herself, and I don't know if
mm,
this is just the generation, but they kind of come in thinking that they're going to perfect it.
yeah.
And I think she'd beat herself up with different things, like if she wasn't the best at doing a test, or she got an
Oh,
answer wrong, or I'm trying to think of another example, and it didn't go according to plan, then she'd beat herself up. I'm the worst at it. I'm not as good. I'm not a good kid. That
mm,
kind of so it'd spiral. And so, but
oh,
since going through this training, I think it's been helpful because now it's one of the things you did was like, I'm not the best at it yet, and that yet
yeah,
thing
yeah.
helps with the conversation now and challenging and doing new things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So all the parents that are listening, that's called the power of yet. It's a great little tool that you can just like use right away. Like you guys were able
All
to
the
use it
time,
immediately, right?
all the time. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, all the time.
all
Me
the
too.
time.
Still, me too.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And basically, whenever you used to say things like, "Oh, I'm the worst," how did that feel?
I think it would crack holes in my positive heart, and it would be hard to stitch it back up.
Wow, that was actually a really powerful visual.
It was, yeah.
So
I'm impressed. Sorry.
yeah, wow. Maybe you'll be a teacher someday in the future. So it like cracked a hole in like your like positivity, yeah. And then but you would try to stitch it back together, but it felt
Mhm.
challenging. I see. So basically, if I'm understanding correctly, it's like you know that you would say something negative and you know it didn't feel good. And so you would do your best to feel better, but it was hard.
Mhm.
Uh, Now, do you feel like that still happens? It happens less, or happens very little, or you haven't had that happen in a while?
It happens very little now because I
Oh,
use the power of yet, and then
mm.
it fixes personally, and it makes me continue to see how it turned out.
Keep trying.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And so, do you remember like when you started using like the power of yet, and did it ever feel like fake? Did it feel like phony? Like this is not gonna work?
Sometimes,
Yeah. And can you tell me a little bit more, like about that?
like when I would use the power of yet, say for like my first crochet project, I said, I can't do this. And then I would use yet. And then sometimes it would feel like, but it's still going wrong.
Mm.
But yet made me figure that the next time I do it, it can attract progress and be better.
And
And then
then,
mhm.
yeah, go ahead, go
I
ahead.
was gonna add another thing for her early on, before starting, it was if she got something wrong on a math test, for example, she's like, "I don't know what I'm not gonna be the best. I'm not gonna be good." That and it would spiral. And then trying the fake how it felt at first when we were trying to use it, I think she would roll her eyes like, "No, we don't know this math yet." And then we kept doing it and kept doing it. It's just her and I, so we just kept practicing it. And I think at first it was like, "Don't tell me this yet," "Don't tell me this," because I wasn't quite sure of it. And then the more we did it for everything, like we learned to cook recently too, right? do an egg, and we cracked
I
some,
love it.
busted some eggs and doing it. And she's like, "Oh, I can't do this." No, but we just learned it, so we can't be the best of it yet, and we'll get better at this, and we'll challenge ourselves more. And it's been a really powerful tool,
Wow.
learning things, because at 10 we don't know everything yet.
Yeah.
I love that. And then, so like, walk us through like maybe how you feel throughout that, like, and so like cooking or math, and then it doesn't go exactly as planned, right? And then walk us through how you're feeling during that moment, and then you use the power of yet and how it changes. Like, can you maybe walk me through that little journey?
Okay. So when I used the power of yet, it didn't feel correct. But then when I tried it and I see how it turned out, it didn't do the best. So I kept using the power of yet, kept practicing it at home, like the math problems. And then when I used the power of yet at school for how I could do better and do as hard as I can possibly go, then it turned out okay, better than last time. And then the next time I used power of yet, did my best, and then it turned out great.
Amazing. So, like in the beginning, it maybe is like, yeah, but if I say yet, the problem's still here, right? And so it's like, it didn't really feel real. I think that was a crochet example in the beginning, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then as you started to use this more and more often, and you started to see that it was actually helping you, and how did you feel like it was helping you?
I think it helped me by um saying that when I start it, it's not
Hmm.
gonna be the best. But when I
Okay.
keep practicing, doing my hard work, and using the power of yet, I don't know this yet. I I can't do this yet. Then it helped to make it better.
Mhm.
Got it. Got it. So now, just for the other parents who are listening, or maybe even other kids, what proof were you getting that this is actually helping you?
Can I add something to it?
Yeah.
Seeing the journey of her using that. So when she tries a new task, say for example, making a fried egg, the frustration of not doing it, cracking it perfectly or having a yolk burst or whatever, that frustration is like you know, so she does one egg and you're like, okay, try it again. And she'd be like, and then just taking the moment to breathe for a minute and then telling herself, and we would talk it through, we don't know it yet because we're learning how to do this, and that's okay. So taking a moment to process that, and then trying again, and then she did better, and then kept trying it and kept trying it, and she's gotten better and better. So the transformation of getting frustrated, breathing for a minute, and then using the get mentality, I guess you could say, or adding that to the journey, lessens her frustration, and then it doesn't build so much up. I don't know, so much angst up, so it lessens
Mm-hmm.
that frustration, and it's just learning, and we're just going to try it again, and it's going to get better. I think at 10 you're still learning, and at 40 you're still, it's a constant
Right.
journey. And yeah, definitely something she uses and I use, but I've noticed in her journey it's lessen the frustration, lessen the spirals.
Yeah, yeah, right. Exactly. Because the frustration will still happen. The
Mhm.
disappointment still happens naturally because it just isn't what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Right. Which, by the way, Camila, is if you get disappointed because it doesn't go the way you planned, is that bad or is that normal?
It's normal.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you get a little bit disappointed at first, and then you reframe, you change the way you're changing the bad thoughts to good thoughts, from
Mhm.
feeling negative to thinking more positive. And then you crack another egg, and then it got better. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
And then no shells were falling into your egg. The yolk wasn't broken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how did you feel after that?
I felt proud and excited of what I can do.
Yeah. And if you were to, like, let's just pretend you were to like just give up after the first mistake, would you have felt better after that? Because then you wouldn't have even had a chance to even crack the egg again and then see that, like, oh wow, it didn't burst this time.
Yeah.
Right. And I think, and then to Mama's point, right? So Chrissy, I think you were sharing, it's like you're seeing less downward spirals.
Yeah.
And I think it's like the moment a spiral is beginning,
Mhm.
I think is there's a emotional intelligence to pick up on it.
Mhm.
And I also believe that this is a skill
Yeah.
to go, I'm not feeling so great. And it's because I made a mistake.
Yeah.
And so, okay, that's why I'm feeling this way.
Mhm.
I just can't do it yet. Or it's like because you're jumping in and it's kind of like you're like guiding her. Like, remember, it's just you can't do it yet. And then she goes, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then the spiral just gets halted rather
Mhm.
than continuing to go down and down and down and down.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the longer we wait, right, Camila, the longer you go in this downward spiral, do you feel like it's easier to get back up or harder?
Harder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
And so would you say like the power of yet is a great way to kind of like stop the downward spiral of feeling bad?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, cool. And so if you like, let's just say like, if we keep talking about the power of yet for a little bit, like, let's just say some kids are hearing this technique for the very first time. And to them, it feels just like when you were crocheting, it's like, but I don't know. It kind of just feels like words. It just like, it feels a little fake. It feels a little phony. What advice would you have for someone who's just hearing about the power of yet for the first time today?
Hmm. That don't believe your conscience when it says that it's fake. It's not. It's not gonna help by any way. It can actually. It can power boost your confidence and it can show an example of how you can improve.
Wow. Okay. But what if a kid's like, don't believe my conscience? What does that mean?
That don't believe those bad thoughts, those bad negative
Hmm.
spirals in your head that said that you can't
Hmm.
do this, you're terrible, quit. Don't believe those because
Hmm.
those are the real fake.
What if they're like, yeah, but aren't all my thoughts real and true?
It's a good question. Dumb.
Yeah.
Like, right? And so isn't everything I think basically true?
If you keep saying that it's bad and it's terrible and it's bad, then yeah, it's gonna be bad. But if you stop, then it won't be true.
Maybe can you walk us through like what's with these bad thoughts? Like, is it are we a terrible person for having bad thoughts? Like, why do they even happen? Maybe do you think you can kind of share a little bit of insight on how this is normal, if it is?
You think it's normal?
It's 100% normal.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And it's okay to have those thoughts, but
Mm.
they might not be 100% true.
So basically, we can all get bad thoughts then.
hmm
Gotcha. And should we stay with the bad thoughts or should we change them to good thoughts?
Change them to positive, happy thoughts.
Got it. Well, is this something that we are born knowing how to do, or is this something we learn how to do?
We learn.
Do you truly believe that anyone, any kid, or even any adult could learn how to do that?
Definitely.
I love that. And you truly believe it.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. I have another question for you. And because you know how earlier you mentioned, like if you felt really bad, it's like you're like there was a hole in your positivity and it would just like be really hard to stitch it back together. And I know a lot of kids feel that way too. And in my experience, there's only two things that make you feel that way. Either it's just you, like in yourself, and you just want to do a really good job. So you like are really hard on yourself, which by the way, what's that kind of mindset called when you're like really hard on yourself?
Negativity.
Yeah, the name of it where it's like, "Oh, I can't do it," or like, "I'm not smart enough. I'll never be good at this."
A fixed mindset.
Yeah, it's a fixed mindset, right? And so half the time, in my experience, kids have this really sad feeling or there's a hole in their positivity because of the fixed mindset. That's half of what causes it. Because then it's just like, if I don't do it perfectly, then Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I'm not good enough. And, or even I know that some kids, or maybe you have some insight on this. Like some kids, even if they do it really good, and you might even tell them, wow, great job. And then they're like, no, it's not good enough. Do you have any explanation of like why they still wouldn't be happy, even if they did really good?
Because there's no true perfectness.
Ooh, tell me
Hmm.
more about that.
Like, you can never get 100% on correct, on perfect, on the exact thing that people
Mm.
want you to do.
Is that true? Because sometimes you can get 100% on your math test. Perfect score.
I mean, they might not be the exact way.
Yeah. Can you control always having everything perfect?
No.
Right. And so then since you can't control it, then if a kid has a fixed mindset, which all of us kind of have a little bit of it in different parts of our lives, of course, right?
Mhm.
But if someone has a really, really, really big fixed mindset and they can't control if they always do it perfectly or make mistakes, is their happiness in their control?
No.
Is there positivity in their control?
No.
Mm. Do you know? This is a good question. Do you know the difference between happiness and positivity?
That positivity is good thoughts and
Oh,
happiness is good appearance?
Emotion, maybe?
Emotion.
yes, yes. This is very good, very good, very good.
Mm.
So, yes, this is pretty much right on track. So, happiness is an emotion, it's more of a reaction. Someone gives you a present. Now, how do you think you feel?
Happy.
Yes. Your mom gives you a hug. How do you feel?
Happy.
Yes. And someone walks by you, some stranger, and says, like, wow, I like your shirt. Like, how do you feel?
Happy.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and is that something you have control over?
Yes.
Your emotions?
Mm.
Hmm.
Have you ever had full control of your emotions?
Sorry, I answered that part.
Neither have I, and I still haven't learned how to master that. And
Yeah.
so I think that just means that maybe we're not meant to.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just normal to have sad feelings, angry feelings, happy feelings. And
Mhm.
so I think that that's what makes our human life beautiful. You
Yeah.
get to experience so many different feelings. You know, you can watch a movie like, oh, you can cry out of sadness or cry out of like laughter. There, you're laughing so hard. You might even cry because you're so happy. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's kind of weird to think about it. You can cry for a lot of different
Sometimes.
reasons. And then there's positivity.
Mhm.
That that's a choice.
Mhm.
What do you think I mean by that?
That positivity is a choice. Maybe that you can be very mean or angry, or you could be very kind and sweet and positive.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. Like now, let's make this even more challenging. What if you're having such a bad day? You're excited for school, and as soon as you stepped outside to get into the car, thunderstorm. It's raining. It's pouring. You're like, it was just sunny when I looked out the window. And like now it's like your shoes are getting wet, your clothes are getting wet, and like you get to school and your teacher has a bad day, and then now your teacher's being mean to you. You're like, no, Camila, you got the answer wrong. Let me pick someone who does know the answer, right? And then someone at school is like, you're weird. It's like everything's just going wrong. How can we stay positive with
Mm.
everything going wrong?
We can ignore the bad things that has happened and well maybe just take breaths
Yeah.
and say that it can be okay. It can be
Wow.
a good day, even if
Wow.
bad things have happened.
I love that. So even if bad things are happening, you can still choose to say positive things. You can still choose to look for good things.
Right.
Wow, that's pretty good. I love that. Thanks for sharing that. Now back to what I was saying like forever ago. So there's two ways that someone can really spiral. It's either you have a fixed mindset and so you're being a perfectionist, everything has to be perfect, or it's not enough, or you're not enough, or if it's not better than someone else, then clearly you're the worst. Like this is the fixed mindset.
Mhm.
The other reason that I've seen kids kind of like spiral and feel like it's so hard to stitch back that positivity and that happiness is socially.
Mhm.
The social challenges of people not exactly being kind. And was there ever, can I ask you a question actually?
Mhm.
Was there ever a moment at school where you just kind of felt like left out or you wanted to just disappear?
When friends didn't necessarily include me in games or asked to, like, because I normally want to be asked instead of ask.
Yeah.
And people didn't, so I had like 2 minutes in the corner of like the playground or just walk around the concrete and just think. And I didn't feel the best.
Mm.
So to answer your
So
question, yes, you have felt left out,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
yeah. And so I guess, so what happened was was this like recess or?
Yeah,
Okay.
recess.
So it was recess and then anyone can pick and choose to hang out and play with anybody, right?
Mhm.
And then no one came up to you.
Yeah, and I wanted
But
to be included in games, but I wasn't.
mm, well, so was this like the first day of school or was this like the middle of the year?
The middle of the year.
Yeah, somewhere around there. So what usually happens though? Do people come up to you and want to play and then just that one day they didn't? Or was that kind of like a pattern that was already happening?
I think it was just that one day, but I still felt
Oh,
really bad.
I see. So basically what happened was normally people would come up to you, but then that day for some reason, nobody did.
Mhm.
And do you remember what you were thinking that made you feel like a little sad?
That I wasn't included in
Like
activity.
nobody, like you weren't included in that people didn't want to play with you, which means they didn't maybe like you. Is that maybe what you're thinking
I would be the weird one.
that you would be, or you're feeling like maybe they are already thinking you're the weird one?
That they were thinking that I was weird.
Did anyone actually call you weird?
No. I just have that fixed mindset.
I see. Looking back at it now, why do you think they didn't come up to you and play with you?
Maybe because they had fun with their own friends.
I see. So they were like maybe, do you think they really actually didn't want to play with you? Or maybe they were just distracted with other things?
Distracted.
Yeah, but
Just in
but the
my
thing is,
mind, it's like,
yeah,
I took it personal.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're saying in your mind, that's just not the way you saw it though. The way you saw it was like they think I'm weird.
yeah.
Um, and then what happened after that?
I think that that was the one day that I was excited to go into class and do work.
For one day.
That
Sorry,
was
Miss Walker.
the one day you're excited for this recess to end and go back into class. I see. Recess is probably your favorite, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
going home.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. So
Uh,
now looking back at that time now, what do you if okay, actually, if that were to happen to you again, has that ever happened again?
Off and on.
Off and on.
Yeah.
Off and on? Well, when that happens now, I guess what are you thinking and how are you feeling?
Just a little bit upset.
Yeah. And then is that bad or is this normal?
It's normal.
And I think it's probably good to dive into like, why is it normal? Just so people who are listening can kind of understand a little bit more of like, all right, what makes it normal? And so if someone doesn't want to play with you, doesn't hang out with you, or maybe they forget, like, and they're like, oh, squirrel, and like they'll go do something else, and then you feel disappointed. That feeling, like, I guess maybe there might be different reasons for feeling a little bit sad. If someone doesn't want to play with you, what should happen to our self-image?
What should?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just try your best not to shrink in it, but it's
Oh,
okay to
okay.
feel that way.
Yeah. So it's okay to feel a little bit disappointed, but try not to let your self-image shrink.
Right.
And for those who are hearing self-image for the first time, like, what's an easy way to explain self-image?
Self-image is what you see of yourself inside and not out.
Okay, yeah, I love that. That's a really good explanation. So it's what you see on the inside, not on the outside. So it has nothing to do with your hair, your nose, right? Or the color of your skin or the color of like anything really. It's just a
Right.
matter of what do you think about yourself on the inside, right?
Mhm.
So like if someone actually comes up to you and is like, I don't want to play with you today because you guessed it, you're weird, and then runs away. Okay, so now let's just say they gave you proof that they actually do think you're weird. Which this, I feel like this is an even more challenging situation, isn't it? You're not just guessing, they actually say it. It can hurt.
Mhm.
Now, walk us through again. What should happen to our self-image in this situation?
That you try not to shrink it.
Yes, because only who can shrink your self-image?
Yourself.
Okay. So walk us through. Like, if that's actually true, if you are the only one who can shrink your own self-image, and so someone calls you weird, and then now you're like, I guess I am weird. How did their words end up changing in this pretend situation? How did that end up changing your self image if you're the only one who can change it?
Maybe you believed that. You believe
Do you think kids are believing other kids' words on purpose or by accident?
purpose.
Well, like let's just say a mean kid comes up to you and says, like, you're weird. And then you go, I'm weird. And so if you copy their mean words and use it on yourself, do you think most kids, are they letting that happen on purpose or it's just they didn't know?
They didn't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so if they don't know words like self-image and things like this, and they don't know that no one can control their self-image except for themselves, do you feel like they can defend their self-image really good or it's going to be hard
They can defend themselves.
if they don't know the word self-image?
Then it would be hard.
Yeah, definitely. It would be a lot harder if you didn't know these kinds of words, right? That you learned in Rebel Ninja.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So if someone does say something mean to you, or even they just ignore you, like in this actual real example where no one came up to you at recess, let's talk about the disappointed feeling because if you feel sad, I think you can only feel sad for two reasons, right? So like if you feel sad, it could be because your self-image went down, which we just talked about, right? The other reason why you might feel sad, what do you think it might be?
Maybe because hmm,
Mm-hmm.
your emotions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so your emotions are starting to kind of go down now, like you're feeling kind of sad.
Mhm.
Can I tell you what I think?
Mhm.
Well, I think it kind of depends. Like if this person's already your friend, because they're like when you agree, like it might be a little different if it was your friend or someone who wasn't your friend. So if you have like your usual two friends who always play with you at recess, but then today they're playing somewhere else with somebody else. then it might feel like, I think that's something that hurts, that can hurt your self-image, because you might think like maybe something's wrong with me because they clearly want to play with somebody else. So that still backs up the first example. The second example would be like, your best friend goes, I actually don't want to play with you today. I've been meaning to tell you this, but you're weird. So bye. Now that will hurt your feelings, because if that's not really even if you protect your self-image, you're like, I'm not going to copy her words or his words and use it on myself. So your self-image is still protected, but you'll still feel sad. And there's only one other reason: trust. How would you describe trust?
Trust by like you believe them.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you trust them, you will believe them. Like if you believe they're telling you the truth, right? Do you feel safe around someone you trust?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you be yourself around someone you trust?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't feel like they're going to be mean. They're not going to judge you just for being your silly self, right? They're probably going to like it, actually. So you feel comfortable. And so I think that, and so we have like a relationship. Like you have your relationship with your mom, which is totally different from your relationship with your best friend, your relationship with me, your relationship with someone that you only kind of say hello to a little bit. You don't really know them. So these are relationships, but they can be really close or really far. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
If someone's really, really close to you, think of it like a bridge, and that connects you to them. And this might be a really close bridge. If someone is mean to you, what do you think that's happening to your trust? Do you think we're building it or breaking it?
Breaking it.
Yeah. And if someone is breaking your trust, is that something to be excited about, or what do you think?
Disappointed.
Yes, absolutely. And so the reason why I wanted to talk about that is like, just go back to your story, like in case anyone else has ever been in the same situation as you, where like, why isn't anyone coming up to me today? Like, what's going on? And so if they protect their self-image, you're like, but why do I still feel disappointed? Now it's like, oh, I'm disappointed because a good thing was ruined. Like maybe this person, if that person truly doesn't like me anymore, doesn't want to be my friend anymore, that hurts me because that is something that was built, but now is broken.
Yeah.
Right? Wouldn't you agree that's kind of normal way to feel when things
Yeah.
break? Yeah. Can broken things be rebuilt?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to make sure I left that positive note in there. But anyways, fast forward to today. If you were in that situation again, like, how would you feel?
Disappointed.
Mm.
Or sad.
And then do you feel like you would be sad, disappointed for a really long time, really short time compared to before?
Long time?
A little time, you said? Yeah.
Smaller time, huh? She said smaller
And
time.
say it again?
Oh, she said smaller time.
A smaller time. Yes. I love that.
Okay.
So then, I guess then, even if you try to be super, super, super positive, you start off a little disappointed. It's not the end, right? You can change directions and start being positive.
Yeah.
So, this is sometimes for kids, they're not sure how to do that. We talked about the power of yet. I feel like sometimes saying the word yet doesn't apply to every possible sentence. Sometimes we have to kind of like use different reframes. So what would be like a good way to change like a bad thought to a good thought? Like, can I give you an example? Let's just say another kid says something like, nobody likes me. What's something like, how would you change that to something positive? Like if someone, like they really did try, they walked up to someone and was like, hey, do you want to hang out? Want to play? Want to do this? And they're like, no. And then now it's kind of, oh, nobody wants to be my friend. I guess, how do you change that?
Maybe that's okay because it wasn't your fault.
Mm,
And maybe you can continue trying to talk more, find clues
mm.
to friendship.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Do you want to play a game real quick?
Mhm.
Okay. So have we played the game Ant Squasher? We've already played this. Sorry, I play this game so many times that I forget who I've played this with. Okay, so you remember the rules, right? I'm gonna be your evil twin, and you're gonna be Camila. Okay. Okay. So for those who are listening, the rules are like one person plays the evil twin of the original person, and the whole idea is that as the evil twin. So in Rebel Ninja, we call it evil twin, but it's actually just repackaged name for inner critic, right? And so, like in behavioral science, you'll hear this a little bit more. It's like your inner critic is like you're really critical of yourself. Which, Camila, do you know what critical or a critic? Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
What is a
Like
critic? Like a food
so
critic?
yeah, someone who points at the bad things.
Yeah, yeah. All the things that are not right,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so that's what a critic's job is, in hopes to make improvements. And so we all have this inner critic where if we don't draw something correctly, we'll be like, that wasn't done correctly. I need to do it better. Right. So if you have a growth mindset, you can say it positively. You have a fixed mindset, you'll be like, I'm the worst. It's not good enough. I'm not good enough. Right. And so, anyways, ant squasher, the way it works is you are bringing to life. So actually, so I'm talking to the parents now. So moms and dads that are listening to this, what you want to do is bring to life in front of your child the inner critic so they can get the skill of recognizing how does the inner critic sound? What do they like to say? They speak in absolutes. Nobody. Or
Mhm.
I'll never, like nobody likes me. I'll never be good at this. This always happens to me. Right. And so what we're trying to do is help kids build the skill of recognizing this pattern of how the inner critic speaks or this evil twin, and then reframe, change those bad thoughts to good thoughts. So I will play the evil twin, and then Kristi, maybe we tag team.
Okay.
Okay, okay, okay. I'll go first. Maybe I'll do a social one. Like,
Mhm.
hi, I'm evil Camila, and we're at the park today. Wow, it's such a beautiful day. I'm so positive. And let me walk up to this one kid and say, like, hey, you want to come with me and swing? Right. And then, okay. And then I walked up to somebody and then she said, no, oh, nobody likes me. So now your turn, Camila. So I just said, like, nobody likes me.
Hmm. Maybe that's not your fault.
Then whose fault is it? Theirs?
Yes.
How is this? How is it not my fault?
Because it's their fault for not playing with the fun kid that you are.
Mm. So if they don't want to play with me, then I'm not broken?
Yeah.
Mm. Okay. That looks pretty good. Uh, Camila, can I give you some feedback on this?
Yes.
Okay. By the way, for the parents who are listening, I just want to give you a little bit of an insider tip. And so in so every parent is a teacher, right? And so everybody here is a teacher, and a good teaching technique, sometimes instead of just like outright telling a student or your child like, here's a better way to do it. Sometimes it feels forced and you might experience some pushback. And so a really good technique is to ask for permission. It's like, is it okay if I share some ideas? Is it okay if I share some feedback? And it just communicates that like, hey, I want to help if that's okay with you. And then when they process that and they're like, yeah, that's okay with me, then it becomes like this verbal agreement, like it almost becomes like, well, I did say you can give me feedback. So I do need to make sure that this is welcomed. So it's a verbal agreement. about the feedback. Because, sometimes feedback is really tricky. It's tricky to receive it sometimes, and it's tricky to give feedback. Sometimes when you're receiving feedback, sometimes it feels kind of personal.
Yeah.
And it can be like you almost have to reframe your thoughts. And so that's like extra work. So if we want to remove the actual work an individual has to go through, you just ask for permission. Like it just clears the air. So anyways, that's what I just did. I just asked Camila, is it okay if I give you some feedback? Because I didn't want her to feel like you did it wrong. She's very positive, but I don't want her to go through the work of having to reframe thoughts.
Right.
Basically. Anyways, so here's the feedback. I would say you did really good. And to go from good to great, maybe we can find like another word for fault. Like it's their fault. I feel like maybe we can use something that doesn't make them feel like a bad guy or make them seem like a bad guy in our eyes. Like, oh, it's their issue, it's their fault. Because sometimes I'm just coming from like a loving perspective. Maybe they have a bad day, or maybe they just like they had different plans. Like they wanted to go on the slides, and maybe they just said what came to their mind right away without really thinking about how it's going to sound. They could have said something kinder, like, actually, I was already planning to go to this. I've already went to the swings earlier, so I'm just going to go over here. That would have been a really kind way to say it. But sometimes even adults, even teachers, they just say what comes to their mind. And then, but then the way we receive it, it's like, oh, that was kind of mean. Does that make sense? So I think a good way to say what you said another way would be like, well, maybe that person, so maybe it's not, I would say maybe it's not our fault that they don't want to play with us. Maybe they had a different plan, or maybe they have a different idea of fun. Then we run less risk of like feeling judgmental, because I don't think that would feel good on your inside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Good job on receiving feedback, by the way. Yeah, because receiving feedback, I think sometimes this is a skill. It is. In a really good mindset. Okay, so now Kristi's turn. Okay, so mom's going to be the evil twin. Let's do so I gave a social example. Huh?
You said evil twin. I have a twin sister.
Oh my
so
gosh.
she's like, you're going to be Heather. And I was like, oh, if Auntie hears this, you just called her an evil twin.
No. You're not going to be your evil twin or Heather. You're going to be Camila's evil twin. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Mom doesn't have an evil twin, by the way. Heather, if you're listening, that was not directed at you. So, okay. So mom is going to be evil Camila. I just did a social example. Maybe you pick a social example. Maybe she's working on something herself, right? So like a project or etc. Okay. So ready, go.
So I come up with a story. I apologize. And something that it's her own from her perspective. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you say, just start the sentence with, hi, I'm evil Camila.
Okay. Hi, I'm evil Camila. And I want to make the most, let's see. What can I do?
Perfect cake.
Most perfect cake. And I screwed up and I added too much sugar and it's horrible and I'm the worst and I'm never going to be able to celebrate my birthday.
What do you say to that?
Maybe it's because it was the first time you did it. And the first time you do it, it's not going to be absolutely perfect. It's not going to be from a 28 years of baking history and you screw up. It's the first time. So you did what you can.
Wow.
And we Google how to fix it.
Wow. That was pretty good. I feel like I might need to hire you as a teacher and help me teach more kids. Camila, are you ready for a harder round?
Yeah.
Okay. The way we're going to make this harder is we're going to argue with you. We'll argue. We're allowed to argue back one time. Okay. So this is the medium version. So the other one was the easy version. This one's the medium. Yeah. So whatever you end up saying, even if it's right, I'll be like, are you sure? Like, how can that be true? I'm just going to because you know why? This is truly what happens in our heads. It's like, we're going to change our bad thought to a good thought. And then your evil twin is like, but how can that be true? And then you have to go, The reason why it can be true is because da, da, da. And all you have to do is just keep making sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then our job as the evil twin is to not make sense until, and then, well, we'll just do one round. But like the hard round is like 2 times we'll argue back with you and not make any sense. And you have to go, no, that's not true. And then the reason is, okay, are you ready?
Mhm.
Okay. Just because we're short on time. Well, we'll just do just one.
Sure.
One more, okay? Hi, I'm evil Camila, and I am cracking some eggs. I'm so excited. I watch all these YouTube videos and I'm ready to do this. It's going to go perfect. Crack. Eggshell drops. Then yolk bursts open. I'm the worst. I'm a terrible cook.
You are not a terrible cook. It is the first time you've done this, and you should not beat yourself up because you are a beginner. You are not a master pro, and you are wonderful at cooking eggs.
Oh. Well, I'm not. Well, what if I try this again and then it breaks again?
Try again.
That makes
And
sense.
Mom buys her eggs at Costco, so we have a ton of them. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Well, but what if, all right, hard round. I'm going to argue with you again. But what if I try again and then it breaks, and then I try again and it breaks, and I go through all of the Costco eggs, and I messed them all up. Then for sure, I'm just a terrible cook. That's how I'll know.
You are not a terrible cook.
Why?
You can continue trying.
So what you're saying is, if I mess up, I should not give up?
Yeah.
Okay, but when do I give up?
Never.
So you want me to keep trying?
Yeah.
Make scrambled eggs.
But I'm not so sure if I'll ever get good at this.
Nobody's perfect.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I ran out of things to say. So
like
but this, yeah, and so this is exactly how the ant squasher game really works in real life, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes you change your bad thought to a good thought, and your bad thought's like, oh yeah, I have some things that make some sense. And then you go, no, it doesn't mean I have to quit. And then, but then you challenge it a little bit. You're like, well, I don't even know what if I do go through all these eggs and each one is awful and terrible?
Mhm.
But anyways, but you did a really good job. And so, but in real life, if we actually did quit or give up, would we ever have a chance to actually get better?
No.
Yeah. And so what should we really focus on? Should we really focus on like, oh, mistakes tell me my self-image, or should we focus on how mistakes help us learn?
Mistakes help us learn.
Yeah, because can mistakes actually change our self-image?
Yes.
Or mistakes can change our self-image? Like if I crack an egg and I'm like, it broke, does that mean now something about me is wrong? Even if I crack 100 eggs and I do it wrong each time, is it now that must mean something's broken about me, right?
Mm-mm.
Good. So nothing can change your self-image except for you, right? And what's more important? I kind of already asked that. So the whole point is that we become a better version of ourselves, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Can we become better versions of ourselves if we give up?
No.
And if we give up, will we ever get better at something?
No.
But if we keep trying and trying and trying something, but it doesn't go perfectly, how is that okay?
Because you are learning.
And if you're learning, are you or are you not becoming a better version of yourself?
You are becoming a better version of yourself.
And how does that make you feel?
Proud.
Yeah, yes, I love it. Amazing. Okay, very good. Well, do you know, before I jump off the call, I have a question for the both of you. Kristi, just
Yes, sir.
so it doesn't feel like we were ignoring you this whole time.
You're good. No worries. I'm our
Like,
co-host.
what encouragement do you have for the other parents that are listening who their kids, they just want their kids to be more resilient, but they're like having these spirals and they're having these really big feelings that just feel like every day is same thing, every day same thing. What encouragement do you have for the parents?
Don't give up and don't get mad. I think that this is all normal experiences, especially the ages. She's 10, and I know that there's a lot going on in the world, and there's a lot going on in friends and their little worlds as well. And just to be with them, not to totally promote your thing, but it's really helped out with some of these like small little changes and these little the lessons that you've been able to provide with Rebel Ninja has really helped with her perspective on things. Before going into the program, it was really easy to spiral, and then she would give up, and I'd be like, "Okay, go through your feelings and do that." But then it was hard to pull her back up, like to get her out of that funk. But to help process and not give up on efforts or not give up on friends or, challenges, whatever it might be, skinning your knees and being afraid to get back on the roller skates. Just that's all normal, but
Hmm.
getting out of it and saying, "Hey, you know what? Reminder, you're still 10 and hey, we're still learning and 10 or 40 whatever it might be, you're still learning and getting through life because we don't know it all yet and we're going to get through it. And as long as we're together, we're doing just fine."
I love it. Thanks for sharing that. And Camila, do you have any tips or advice that you can share with other kids who they're really trying their best, but they're making mistakes? It's not coming out perfectly, and it's kind of feeling really hard to stitch back up that positive hole, like the hole in that positivity. Do you have any tips or advice around this?
To always keep going, always don't give up. Even if it takes you a billion times to do it, you will eventually conquer it and you can improve.
Mm. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you guys for being on the show. Uh, and I'll say one thing that I'm just grateful that I have had this opportunity to meet you, get to know you, work with you, coach you, teach you, mentor you, and have so much fun. And we played games and I nudged you and I pushed you. And, uh, I think it's so cool that I actually got to do that. I do. I feel this way about like every kid I work with, but I just want to share with you. Sometimes we need a reminder, even as adults, that you're on the right track. You're doing just fine. And I just want to let you know because you're 10 now. If I had a wish for you, like I would want you to take everything that you learned while you're 10, but you never forget it. You keep it with you all the way until your adulthood because a lot of us adults, we've kept our childhoods with us.
Mm.
But sometimes the things that we've kept with us are bad memories and bad times. But a lot of our bad memories and bad times also came from we didn't we didn't know we had a fixed mindset. It was hidden. And it was like changing the way that we saw things and it would create holes in our positivity and we felt like we couldn't really stitch it up. And then it's like, and sometimes when that happens for a long time and you become an adult by then, it's like you're really not sure if anything could ever change for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so my only wish for you is that you take all these skills and all the things that you've learned and all the times that you've been brave with all the challenges we've done and you know you remember just how amazing you are and that you've only just gotten started. And when you turn 11, 12, 13, it's like you'll just keep becoming even better version of yourself. So by the time you're like 20, 30, 40, you're like unstoppable. Your positivity, nothing can like take it down, right? Your positivity becomes so strong. So the one thing is like resilience. That's kind of like what I'm talking about. It's like you have this unstoppable positivity, no matter what stress you have about your career, about getting into what college, uh, or just relationship things with your friends and family. It's like you'll always be so strong with your positivity. So that's what I want for you to always be yourself and to keep that joy and happiness and positivity with you everywhere you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Well, and again, thank you guys for coming onto the show. And I will catch you guys another time. And listeners, and if you really like this and you want to know a little bit more about How do you get access to these kids' lessons that Camila was like talking about, what Kristi was talking about? You can download my app Rebel Ninja from the App Store or the Play Store and just kind of just like explore it. You know, there's things about like how to stand up for yourself, and then there's the Rebel Ninja certification, walks you through from beginning to end, starting to understand your identity, self-image, setting up your boundaries, being assertive about them, how to talk to other people, and all while having fun. All right. So thank you, everybody. Hope you guys have a great day.